Listen to the Healing Guides podcast with Hannah on Spotify. Healing Guides podcast, the Psychologies of Evil series, part 1. So in this series, I'm going to be talking about different psychologies of evil, such as the psychology of perversions. But this time, I'm going to start off with the other one, the psychology of gang stalking, which is something new that the devil has come up with that big religions such as Islam and Christianity right now don't know about, that the devil has the power to do to some real victims in the world today. So before I start, I want to mention that to some degree, religions such as Christianity usually is aware there is something called strange or weird people appearing in the world recently. There's a lot of videos online saying that weird people or strange people are appearing. People who are just strange, okay, no longer human. So this will touch on that as well, because those are possessed people. Those are human beings that religions have always known were possessed by demons. But now the devil has chosen to come up with this new agenda where they want to use people they possess in completely different ways in recent human history than all past human civilization. Now they're using them for real dangerous programs and agendas. One is to use them as like these zombies or these strange, weird characters that they make the human behave like. And at some point, they are gang stalking people. And they're all possessed. They come to one environment. They're following and targeting one person, but it's covert. None of those human beings are actually friends. They don't know each other. The demons using them are together. So this is going to talk about that. It's going to help educate you on that. All the different ways the devil is using possessed people who were always there, but now they have different things they have to do because the world is about to end. And the devil feels the need to use them for bigger, more dangerous agendas in the world. So if you ever watch any videos on YouTube where it says strange people or weird people are appearing, it's actually the same human beings who are called gang stalkers as well on YouTube. But the names are what the devil is creating, such as gang stalking, gang stalkers, in order to confuse religious people so that no one ever knows about it in the religious sector. So the devil is the one that created words like targeted individual, empowered individual, chosen ones, as fearful ways to make people who are real victims to gang stalking actually feel scared. Because the word targeted sounds like obviously a horrible word, like you're some target. No one is a target here. The devil is going after the entire human race. But some people are victims to something called gang stalking. I have to use that word because that's what people are used to. But we can still call it gang stalking because that's technically what the demons are doing, who are possessing these humans, who are engaging in behaviors that are very similar, repetitive, until the end of this person's life, unless this person goes to God and does what they need to do in order to get out of that situation, because there is a solution. The devil doesn't want them to know, and a lot of them who are online on YouTube are not the real victims to gang stalking like me. Those are the actual stalkers, the possessed humans who are lying and creating fake stories, saying that the government causes it. They have technology and chips in their ears, all that nonsense, which obviously would make you think they're mentally ill. The actual humans who are doing the stalking are all of them mentally ill. Some of them are just covert about it. Some of them are more obvious about it. And there is no such thing as mental illness. It's either demonic possession or demonic oppression. So I talk about that as well on my healing guides. But in sort of social current terms today in society, I have to use the word mental illness just to help you understand what I mean. People today who you would label mentally ill are actually the ones doing the gang stalking. But they're going to label the victims mentally ill. Do you see what I mean? In order to insult them. So the devil is using the humans he's using to doing the gang stalking to also pretend to be the victims, coming on YouTube, creating evil stories, fake stories, in order to then create more confusion, more lies, so that no one actually knows what in the world this is. So since I, by God, have been put in a situation where I'm being gang stalked since before I was even born, God has inspired me to share my story, to expose this. New power of the devil. So it's a new power, okay? That's what you don't know about it. It's new. So here is the episode. It starts right now. Healing Guides podcast, The Psychologies of Evil series, The Psychology of Gang Stalking, Part 1. Gang stalking. It is simply something that those in the religion sector, such as Christianity and Islam, already know about. Islam, a little bit, doesn't really talk about it. So Christianity is really the one that is more knowledge on it. And it's basically caused by bloodline curses on the family that you were born into. That's why they're all narcissistic. Narcissistic personality disorder means they are demonically possessed. Anyone with high-level mental disorders or personality disorders is actually a human that's possessed by demons. That's why they have a strange personality. That personality is the demon. You get me? So demons don't want you to know this is witchcraft or curses that are put on the bloodline. You get me? So you're just a person that's born in this lifetime, for example, but the humans born before you in that family bloodline, go back, ancient, it means that demons had control over them too. They had power over their bloodline, which then explains why the evil family you're born into, who are evil, narcissistic, and they also are gang stalkers, it explains why they're gang stalkers. It's because the bloodline is trying to make everyone born there into an evil human. Then they possess them, because demons can only possess an evil human. So humans who act like they're victims, oh, I have a demon inside of me, help me, they're liars, they're evil, okay? That's why they got possessed. You don't get possessed if you're a good person. You committed some horrible sin. Okay, so it means you have an evil heart. Envy and hatred is in your heart. You get those two emotions out, become a good person, then the demon doesn't have legal right to be there anymore. You're going to have to cast it out of your body, though, and get deliverance, which is called ruqya in Islam. So you get possessed because you deserve it, is what I'm saying in that sense, because you became evil, okay? Demons then can use you. So what I'm trying to say is, Satan, as well as demonic spirits that work for him, don't want you to know that gang stalking is caused by bloodline curses versus just witchcraft, just witchcraft maybe done to you. Because one, that doesn't even make sense. If it was just witchcraft done to you, then it would happen to billions of the human race. Because if it's just general witchcraft, then other humans in this world who want to become witches and wizards and sorcerers will learn how to do that. Don't you agree? And every day you'd hear people telling you they're being gang stalked. But how come this is so rare? Exactly, because it's only a witchcraft that is coming from a bloodline. You get me? It's not someone you personally, if you call yourself empowered or targeted or whatever you call yourself, it's not someone who just did it to you. You just think that way because you're being harassed and the family you came from seems to have a bit of an okay life. No, the demons did horrible things to them too. It's just that they're also evil. Therefore, they allow them to at least have a job. They allow them to get married. They allow them to have a sort of fake social life. You get me? But who are they around? They're marrying evil human beings like themselves. They're interacting every day with humans who are just like them, gang stalkers. They're never going to be friends with someone who's not possessed. You get me? So they're not actually having good things. They're just surrounded by the same evil and wickedness as themselves, which means they'll abuse each other domestically with violence and perversions like rape and molestation. Their children will get raped and molested. They will attack each other psychologically, emotionally. They're doing horrible things to each other. It's not an actual marriage, an actual job, an actual social life. Okay, they're suffering. What I'm saying is they're just evil. They don't mind. They don't care. They don't honor their body. They'll allow that stuff to happen to them. They'll stay in those, fake marriages and get raped and molested and get forced to have for the female so many children and get abused in her body and, get cheated on. They don't care because they're evil. They don't have the quality that good humans have, which is self-honor. You're not going to let bad things happen to you. Okay, so a lot of the qualities therefore you're going to have that doesn't make someone evil, but the demonic spirits that cause the bloodline curses to do to the sort of bloodline of the whole family, whoever's born to it generation to generation, you're going to have that, such as certain weird behaviors that they just do, like maybe they just do things with their eyes. They just have weird habits. They'll try to teach you that, due to just causing you a lot of mental torture. Since demons have the power to attack your mind and oppress your mind when they cannot possess you, they can
mentally oppress the person that's being gang stalked, who's a good person. I'm not going to call you targeted individual or empowered or chosen, because you're none of those things. You're just a person. Those names are caused by the demonic spirits just to give you a scary type of feeling about yourself. Oh, I'm targeted. No. Hundreds of human beings go through curses and witchcraft in this life. Okay, it's nothing new. It's just that for you, they created a story. They created gang stalking, so you don't ever tell people what's really happening to you. What's happening to you is three things: sabotage to your spiritual destiny, sabotage to your wealth, and sabotage to your marriage. Because those are the three qualities that evil family doesn't have. They're not with God, they're against God, they're evil, so there's no spiritual there. They all have bad marriages. They marry evil humans and they're evil. Okay, that's not real marriage. And they all are poor. Okay, you would agree those families have poverty in them. Okay, so they're trying to keep you in the same place. Are you going to marry an evil person? No, you're a good person. So they're going to prevent you from marriage. You get me? It's going to be according to your level. Are you someone they can make you poor? Because no, you're intelligent. You can create wealth. You go to school, you get a career, you'll start a business. Okay, so that's why they're harassing your job, sabotaging every job, preventing you from having good connections with people who can help you succeed financially and progress in that sort of wealth type of way. You connect with people, you want to have a mentor, you want to go to this company, everything you do, boom, they're going to reject you. Because those humans are all possessed too. A lot of them are evil anyway. They're just not gonna be evil to someone who doesn't have any witchcraft done on them. They're gonna treat those people normally, but because there's witchcraft on you due to the bloodline curses, that witchcraft is just gonna make them reject you. And you'll look at yourself and be like, but that person is not like that to others. That lawyer I contacted to help me with this legal situation helps other people. Why not me? If they're a bad person, they reject others because there's a curse on you that's gonna make that evil human reject you. Well, those humans don't have it technically in that area of their life. But then there's another time that those people then get rejected by others. You get me? So they're evil, but they sometimes have to force themselves to do what you would expect them to do that's healthy in order to have a job. How can they be a lawyer if they reject every client, right? They're gonna have to help some clients, but the demon will make them help those who are just similar to them, toxic, lowly human beings who got harassed, because evil harasses each other. They don't just harass good and righteous people. You get me? Okay, so let's go back to what I was saying. You're gonna have weird habits, weird behaviors, that you're gonna notice the family had. I saw that in that family. Many times the demon oppressing my mind as a child, so that you'd have sort of similar habits as that family, and I would see it in them. So you see, it's not something done to you specifically. It's something done to the bloodline, the family, their problems. That's what they're trying to force onto you, a moral person, a person of God. Therefore, since they're evil and that's why, those things affect them, and you're a good person, it can't affect you, they're going to attack you differently. Do you see how logical it is that you're going to be attacked differently because you're a good person? So they're going to do something else to you, which is gang stalking, okay? So you get me? Because they can actually make those people poor. Because they're stupid. Doesn't matter if they go to school and get an education, still they're not, intelligent. You get me? They just learned. Humans can learn, right? Okay, but you're usually an intelligent person. You're usually someone gifted with artistic qualities. Okay, so you can actually be the wealthiest of the country, among the best. You can be an artist. You can be a business person. You're gonna have great qualities. Okay, that is not in the human average society. You're going to be those people who are sort of at the top of artisticness and intelligence. Okay, so they have to attack you with sabotage, because they can't just make you not progress. They can't just make you fail, because you're a good person. Why would you not want to succeed? What sin are you going to do? You're going to kill someone? What are you going to do? Okay, but those humans, they can make them not have success by making them evil. Evil is going to prevent them from that. And the human beings in this world today that you would say are very evil and predators and commit rape and murder and all that stuff behind the scene, but you would say they're wealthy, is the other type of way that demons use evil humans. They use them in different ways. Some they make them poor and some they make them wealthy. They need those ones to have wealth so they can then use them to go into sort of the government sector, the legal sector, those important areas in society. So then they can use them to cause wars, political problems. You get me? So demons have different agendas. They're going to have to make some evil humans rich. They're going to have to do that through what? Guess what? A sin. They're going to have to sin in order to make them wealthy because they don't deserve it. They're evil. They can't earn it naturally. They're going to have to cheat. That's why there's a lot of that quality of buddy buddy, just helping each other because they're the same kind. There's no fairness when you get promoted. So they're going to have that quality of demons using witchcraft to promote the evil humans in those areas in government, in those areas of, law enforcement, in those areas of like lawyers, in those areas like a big corporate company. There's never going to be fairness. It's always going to be whoever sucks up to them that they will give a job to. Maybe they do sexual things together or perverted things together, and then they're going to promote each other. It's always going to be through committing a sin against God and against themselves and each other that they're going to get that wealth. Therefore, they're evil, okay? They didn't have the ability to actually succeed like you, actually get things with hard work. So then they're gonna come out and act like motivational speakers and say things like, "Oh, I worked hard." Hell no. They're doing weird, nasty, disgusting, and strange sacrifice type of stuff behind the scene that people are exposing recently. Okay. So you're an actual, genuine, good person. Those rare people in society. While the average human in this world is not a good person, they're just a human. They commit so much sin. They get a job only because you can get a job, not because they are good. They get education because you can have a brain and it can learn. Even if you're evil, God is not gonna mush your brain. You're gonna still have the ability to learn. Okay, so they're gonna learn because they can learn, not because they actually have a clean, healthy brain like you. Okay, so the demons don't care if those humans have those things, but they care if you have anything. You're thinking, but don't they hate those humans? Demons hate the human race. Why do they care if I get a job? Those human beings over there who are technically good people and some of them who are not, why do they have jobs and demons don't go after them? Because they're doing what demons want in other ways. Those good people are suffering in other ways. There's going to be witchcraft done to them at some point. They're just fortunate that they don't have a bloodline one done to them. The demon doesn't have the basically the what is the word? It doesn't have the sort of luxury that this person was born to a bloodline curse. You get me? It can't force someone into a bloodline. Only God can put you in a family. So it's not the demon's fault, okay? It's God who did that. So that person just got fortunate, you know? I'm not saying lucky because Muslims, we don't believe in luck. So they just got fortunate. While so you see what I'm saying? Since they got fortunate and they're not from a bloodline, therefore witchcraft didn't come to them from the blood. At some point, someone's going to seek to do witchcraft to them. You get me? In some area of their life. So everyone's going to have to go through witchcraft. But for you, it's just worse because the bloodline, okay? So then the other people, the humans who are not good people, just average toxic humans who go to clubs and bars and fornicate every day and do drugs and alcohol. Those miserable, disgusting human beings, high-level sinners, but they act like normal people every day, far away from God, which is the average human today in society. They have all this sort of financial stuff, right? They get jobs. They're not wealthy, but they get jobs and okay, you think they're basically getting the worldly things, right? They're in the most dangerous state. They're basically objects for the demon. If the demons possess them because of all those sin that they're doing that I just told you, those horrible lifestyle habits, and it has control over their soul. So they already lost their spiritual destiny. They lost their marriage because they're going to be sexual with evil humans, and they're going to be sexual too much and be promiscuous because they're not looking for a partner. They're just looking to fool around. They're damaging their honor and their body and their health. Okay. And then they get even more possessed when they do that sexual stuff because that's how you get possessed too. So, okay. And then what else? They're damaging their morality. Their morality is dead. Okay, and then they will have that sort of average wealth. You get me? They're never gonna have a big job. They're always gonna be just employee, just average company job. They're never gonna go up. Okay, so they don't have anything that you would ever be like, well, how come they have it? Okay. They just have the ability to get a job and not constantly be sabotaged. They're going to get sabotaged too because evil happens to everyone. Those envious humans envy each other, the evil ones just like them. So at some point, someone's going to get harassed at a job. If they don't get harassed at a job and they're like, wow, I'm unique, I've never been harassed at a job. Okay, you're going to get harassed in the street. You're going to get harassed in a bus or taxi. You see what I'm saying? Evil will come to them at some point. Okay, so but for you, it's just everywhere, right? Every job, every street, etc. Because the gang stalking is making sure a mob of humans are aware of where you're going every day. Not they, sorry, the demons using them are aware of where you go every day. They can identify you using something only God knows, and they can come to your city, your town, your bus, and they'll just be there. So the gang stalking things they do, right? All the things that they do, it's like 1,000 things, right? We can't even count it. I'm gonna make videos telling you exactly what they do in categories. Those things are not actually the goal of the gang stalking. The goal is just those three things. Is they just want to steal those three qualities from you that you have, that you're gonna succeed in, that the family you were born into, the narcissistic family, is cursed to not have. Okay, there's a bloodline curse on them, which means they're cursed in that sense. It means that demons have access to their bloodline. Whoever is born there, they're gonna target that human. They're gonna become just like the evil person next to them, which is not normal. Since good and bad people should be born, don't you agree? But for some reason, there are always evil humans that are born. What I mean by that is, when God creates human beings, you know, He doesn't just create like empty souls in that sense. He creates different types of human beings. Some who are just naturally righteous, you can't corrupt them. Some who have the option to be good or evil. You get me? So they're in the middle. They're not like, you wouldn't say they're great, because how are you great if you could have been evil, if things just went a little differently for you? Maybe you were raised in the wrong place. Okay, and some human beings are naturally gonna just be the evil ones. It doesn't mean God made them that way. It's just when they were actually on earth, the decision they would have made, that's what you can see before they were even born. Okay, so just God keeps putting these types of human beings in these families. You see, I actually think it's actually a way to protect the good human beings from being born to them. Sadly, you weren't protected. You were put there. But do you know why you were put there? To break the curse. Okay? So, God will always put in that family the type of human beings, if they were born, okay, would actually always choose to be evil. Meaning, it doesn't matter what you do. You can put them in a highly moral family. They're still going to be evil. You can put them over there in a gangster family. They're going to choose to be evil. You can put them over there in a poor family. It doesn't matter how many times God recreates them. They're going to choose to be evil. Okay, so it's the human beings that are just meant to be evil, okay, by their own choice. That's just what they will like and what they will choose. You can't guide them. You can't like save their soul. There are humans that become evil, but they can come back. Okay, but these are the ones that cannot come back. So since they cannot come back, they're the extreme ones. They're the ones that hellfire was created for, because there are humans that will just go to hellfire without even a split second of thinking. You know, they don't even have to be judged for that long. There's nothing to even talk about. They'll just be thrown there, you know. But there's some human beings who could have changed, could have done this, could have done that, could have been guided. And those are the ones that God keeps sending people to them. He's trying to always call their hearts to Him. There's always something tugging at them, telling them to stop, 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 come back to God, leave the, okay, because they're in the middle. They could be good or they could be evil, okay? They just usually choose evil. Okay, and some of them, a very small, rare amount of them, will be good. Will choose good at some point, because all those people calling them situations, calling them dreams and visions they get from God, which is another way He calls you. Okay, that'll get to them at some point. They'll change. Okay, so usually the families that the person is born into that's gang stalked is actually the most dangerous families or humans that God could ever create. Okay, they're the predators of the human race. They're covert for that reason. They just stay there. They don't ever like go into governments or lawyers or anything like that usually, but they do. You are gonna see these gang stalkers at some point who are just like the family. You know what I mean? So I want you to know I want you to know that the gang stalkers who are strangers to you are actually the family. You get me? They're the same type of human beings like that family. So since the gang stalkers are the exact same type of human beings as the evil narcissistic family you were put into to break their curse, not because you're actually from them. Don't ever think you're from their family, okay? You were just put there to break the curse. You're random. Um, that's why they all behave the same way. You get me? That's why they're also gang stalkers. That's why they're also just like, you get me? Don't believe that people who are gang stalkers are somehow less evil than the family. No, they're highly evil. They're just like the family. They're capable of rape, murder, molestation, and they do actually those three things behind the scene. That is why their children are also gang stalkers. You're thinking, why would a child be possessed by a demon? What the hell did they do? The child is perverted, okay? Someone molested them or raped them or whatever, they didn't fight it off because they don't have that righteousness to honor their body. They don't want to fight. They allowed it. Okay, and then what happened? They became evil too. The child didn't get out of that situation. They didn't, fight and say no to that filth. They became just like that. So they actually accepted the evil into their heart. Okay, now the child, whether it doesn't matter their age, don't care about their age. Okay, just think of what they are. They're human. They made a choice to be evil-hearted, and okay, that now gives the demon the legal right to possess them. You see how simple this is? It's just you become evil, you get possessed, and now children are for that reason also gang stalkers. Okay, so what I'm saying is human beings who are gang stalking you, okay, following you around, engaging in the same type of behaviors that some other human just 5 seconds ago engaged in that was harassing to you. Because gang stalking just means they're harassing people, but they're doing it the exact same way. So they're gang stalkers. You get me? They're so similar, but they don't know each other. Their demons are the gang stalkers. Their demons are the gang. They're ganging up on this person and they're stalking them because they're actually following them everywhere they go, using human beings they're possessing because demons need a body. They can't just harass you even if they're in the same building as you. They can't see you. I'm sorry, you can't see them, so God is not going to let them touch you or do anything. They need to enter a body and do that behavior. Okay, so the gang stalkers are the demons, you get me, not the humans. But the humans are choosing to be a secondary gang stalker, okay? But we wouldn't probably call them gang, we just call them stalker, okay? Since they're not together, the gang doesn't know each other. Okay, the demons are what know each other, therefore gang applies really to them. But at some point, right, it's going to be like a workplace or a place that they can actually see somebody, then they're going to actually work together and be a gang. You get me? The humans at some point will have to become a gang. Like a workplace harassment. All the workers will actually, talk to each other and agree to be, jealous of that person. Because that person obviously is someone they would be jealous of. And then now they're a gang. Okay, so what I'm saying is, these human beings who are gang stalking you, okay? They're the exact same type of human beings. Meaning exact same behaviors, problems, sicknesses, diseases, immoralities, family dynamics, even order of birth that your narcissistic family had. They're the exact same human beings. Okay, so when demons use cops to harass you, when they use cops to approach you, to park around you, doing intimidation, enter every place you enter as if they're going to follow you around, accusing you of things, maybe when you're homeless, making it seem like you're sleeping, maybe you're sitting at a bench or whatever, and one day maybe they set you up and they get you arrested for something you didn't commit. That is like the same type of male, that was like the male sibling in that evil family you were born into. So that's why the way that they behave is so hateful. It's not the way that humans usually record, police, like on YouTube maybe. This extremely hateful, psychopathic, narcissistic. The way they talk is so similar. The way they terrorize people who didn't commit a crime, like that. Those ones are similar because those ones are kind of like a way that evil is. There's a certain evil. That's like a certain type of evil, character that comes out when they're not operating on witchcraft. Okay, but when they're operating on witchcraft against someone like you who's being cursed because of the bloodline you were born into versus just, naturally cursed by someone over there, no one cursed you like that. It's the bloodline that's putting the curse on you. Just, that's it, sadly. Okay, they're going to act extremely more hateful, more evil because it's not really the cop. That moment he didn't personally say, I want to harass you. It was actually the demon using him. Of course, he got the agreement, but it's more so like he's not 100% conscious of it, who he's really choosing. So it's going to use him 10 times more violently than it would use him to harass another human. Because obviously when cops harass others, the demon is using them again. They got its permission again. But they're going to be a little less, But for you, they're going to look more animalistic. Like their face is going to look so animalistic. They're going to look so hateful. They're going to look so evil in a way that is just so predator-like. Right? They don't look human. The other thing they'll do is they'll bring hundreds of them. One time I saw 3 police cars parking around me at a place that I was sitting in because they thought I was sleeping there. Okay, so there was so many that came out of the vehicles. And every day I see them just driving around the city, and there's like one or two in them. You get me? And all of a sudden, there's so many coming out in each vehicle, and there's 3 vehicles parked there. You know, God alerted me, and I looked and I saw what was happening, and I left. And then they try to act casual. They just started talking to each other. Okay, because that 100% is the demon. There are times that the demon, that the human is a bit conscious, and the demon is obviously possessing them, using them. But there are times that it's 100% the demon taking control. It's the one talking to you. It's the one harassing you. Therefore, the face and everything, it's gonna send you this huge fear as well, because exactly your life is in danger. So they're just different than the usual bully cop, okay, that just harasses people, and some that also just assaults them. These ones are just different because it's witchcraft, okay? It just makes the demon hate you in a way that you can't even imagine. The hate is just so extreme. Why do they feel that way? Because you're gonna break the curse. Why do they care? Because other human beings don't have bloodline curses on them. It's very rare. So humans just have, demons just use people that they teach to do witchcraft, to just do witchcraft to people certain situations. You know, this female gets jealous of that female. She does witchcraft to her. She loses her romantic partner. You know, she wants that male to leave her, or she's jealous of her fame or something, and she'll get rejected by people all of a sudden. It's something specific. Okay, but for you, it's actually the demons versus that human. You get me? For you, it's different. It's actually the demons who are feeling the envy and the jealousy towards you. It's the demons who are feeling threatened by you, because they have the power and the legal right to be in this family's bloodline, meaning until just the bloodlines don't end, okay, until God ends the human race. Every generation, people are going to have kids. Do you agree? So there's a mother, there's a father. Okay, there's a male and a female, they got married, okay, unrelated by blood. They're just strangers to each other. They got married, okay? And then they have children, right? Okay, it's not just their children that are the bloodline. It's also those children's children. So demons are following all those areas of the bloodline, right? Okay, so they have access to all of them. They can attack them any way they want. They can teach them the same type of immorality. They don't choose different immoralities. One is not going to become a thief and the other a murderer. They're all going to do the same thing. Okay, so that's why some families, they're all drug addicts or alcoholics. You get me? Because those families, their bloodline, that's their job, okay? Maybe they can't make them perverted. They'll make them into those things. But usually humans who are drug addicts, alcoholics, all that stuff, they also become perverted. So, but the narcissistic family is just extreme, okay? It's a high level of immorality, therefore. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you that immorality has levels. Okay, this human is evil, this one is evil, fine. But they're worse than each other. Okay, so they're going to have personality disorders that humans have, investigated or studied. And when they study it, they see one is worse than the other, right? Like a psychopath, sociopath is way worse than the other ones that they can come up with. Okay, so narcissist is probably more dangerous than a psychopath, because I don't know, a psychopath is more like just obvious. They're just in the psycho area, this is mental. While the narcissist is more hidden, right? They actually don't even appear like a threat to people, okay? Because they just more hidden. They're not going to show you what they want to do until later on they accuse you of crime and put you in jail and try to set you up to die in some way. They're hidden. They're more covert. Therefore, they're more dangerous. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, okay? So, but they're still going to have sort of those high-level qualities, okay? The higher criminal things they can do, they're all going to do it, because they're all high-level evil humans. Okay, so those types of humans, the demons possessing them, such as the evil family God put you in, demons have access to them to make them become the same thing. They're all going to become homosexuals. They're all going to become perverted. They're all going to go in different directions maybe. Maybe this one doesn't want to go in that, area of necessarily the homosexual. Okay, they're going to make him a homosexual in the area of pedophilia. Because all perversion is the same. I don't care which category you go into. You're the same. You're just a pervert. It's just demons like to confuse human beings as to where these qualities come from. They don't want you to understand it. Oh, yeah, by making different categories, by saying this one's a pedophile. They go after kids. This one goes after their, siblings. There's just one thing. It's just a pervert, okay? The one going after kids also goes after the same gender. They are homosexual, okay? That one also does go after their siblings if they find a filthy human like themselves who want to do filth with them. They do go after the opposite gender. They do try to rape and molest females. Okay, so pervert is just pervert. They do all levels of perversion to people. They just hide it. And some just don't get the chance to find a victim to do that to. It doesn't mean they're not capable. They just haven't found the right victim. Okay, so you're just going to think they're not doing that because you haven't seen it yet, or you haven't seen them convicted of it. But pervert just means pervert, okay? Okay, so all you need to do is simply observe the qualities, the human perverted. Even if they're just promiscuous with the opposite gender, that's perverted, okay? That's just level 1, you know? Okay, so if they're perverted, you're doomed. You need to get away from them. So the narcissistic family is perverted. They're thieves, but they're not going to necessarily go and steal from a store, okay? They're going to steal from each other usually, or others using what I just told you, that covert way. They're going to, use manipulation. They're going to tell someone a story like, oh, I'm dying, I need money for this, blah, 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 blah. That's how that family stole from me one time. They'd message me and be like, they're poor, they don't have money for this, blah, 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 and I gave them my money because that was money I got as a kid from, like, my first job. And that's what they go after. I told you guys, they go after your wealth. So anything that gives you wealth, jobs, grants, scholarships, anything that gives you money, you starting a business, they're going to be against it. Those ancient demons in the family. So it's going to manifest in the family doing that. You get me? Doing behaviors that are going to go after your money. They don't want you to save or have any money. You get a job, boom, they're going to come to you with asking you for money. But since they're adults and they have to work, they're going to lie. You see, it has to be covert because their job is not necessarily to go after other people's money. It's more like to go after each other. Okay, so since they are also the gang stalkers, they are obviously that evil family you were born into, going after other people. The same way gang stalkers who follow you every day are strangers. Don't they come from families? Okay, so they're stalking you. You think they're just stalking you. No, they stalk others too. Those who are like you, who are in this bloodline curse, they stalk their own family. They abuse each other. Okay, but here's the thing. It's just more excessive for you, obviously. But other people, they're not stalking them, right? Because there's no bloodline curse on them. They just do similar acts to them. Since they're evil, and they obviously do evil to human beings overall and not just to someone who has a bloodline curse on them, okay, they're going to do evil behaviors. Okay, so they're going to do evil behaviors to human beings overall. So that's why they're going to be the ones that when they go to a job, the gang stalkers who harass you at your job, that's what that evil family God put you in is also doing to employees. You get me? They're harassing them the same way those strangers harassed you. They're going to harass others who have a bloodline curse on them the same way those coworkers harassed you, okay? So they're gang stalkers too is what I'm saying. In all the areas that you were gang stalked, a job, a street, a school, a mall, if you ever went to jail, the way they tortured you, like that. They're going to, okay, so, and there you go. The gang stalkers, these narcissistic families that have a bloodline curse on them, obviously will go into all those job areas that demons used humans who had those jobs to terrorize you. Who do they use to terrorize you? Almost every business you went to, right? A hotel, a store, a UPS, a USPS, any location you go to, aren't you harassed? Okay, but what does that mean? Right? Those types of human beings that you're born into, the family you're born into, that means they get all types of jobs. Not because there's a lot of them in this world and they have to at some point get those jobs. No, demons will intentionally place them in those important areas. That people like you who are not evil, who are born to that family at one point, that God wants to use you to break the curse of the bloodline, the places you would normally go to. You're not going to go everywhere. Okay? They're going to place them in the places that they want to see you one day. Okay, so they're going to work in almost all the areas of customer service. They're going to work in the government jobs like police, USPS, ambulance. You see, that's why they're able to use those humans to terrorize you all day. Because they're already the same as the family you were born into that's narcissistic. That is the reason why you're being gang stalked. Okay? Because humans just like them are going into those jobs, therefore being used again to terrorize you as other gang stalkers. And now they're gonna try to put you in the same place the family tried to put you in, but they failed usually. You probably didn't get accused of a crime and go to jail when you were living with that family. So demons had to gang stalk you using others, you see, strangers, in order to then accomplish their goal that they haven't accomplished. And they usually succeed when they use strangers or others, because there's a mop. They use thousands of them, okay? And it's not because you're weak. Usually God allows you to suffer that situation. So don't take it personally. It's not a fair battle because they get more power over time. If it was how things were when we were younger, when we were around humans who were acting more decently, then okay, you can't just put someone in a jail or accuse them of being mentally ill or whatever. Why do they need to accuse you of mental illness? Because that's the quality of that family. Goodness, they're narcissistic, means they have a psychological disorder, okay? So they have to accuse you of what that evil family is as a way to mock you. You get me? You came to break the curse. What kind of person do you have to be? Not different, right? Opposite. You have to be the complete opposite. Different means you could be same to some degree, just a little different. No, you're the complete opposite, meaning you're just beautiful, okay? You're just a great person. You're intelligent, they're stupid, okay? Which also means psychologically there's something wrong with their mind. That's another level of stupidity. And you're intelligent means your mind is healthy, therefore you're not mentally ill, okay? You don't have that quality of mental problems because you're that person mentally. You're someone that has a great mental health. Okay, they're gonna accuse your mind because the family is psychologically twisted, okay? Since they have emotions like depression, anxiety, which is not a mental illness, is demonic oppression to the mind, they're gonna send you those emotions and thoughts as a way to just attack you. You get me? They have to make you sick. They have to constantly make you try to make you feel those bad emotions by sending it to you using thoughts. So they're just trying to give you the same problems as the family, as if they can like mold you into the same person. Do you see how disgusting these demons are? How arrogant they are? They think they can make you like those people, except the morality part. Hell no, they're not that dumb. They don't mock human beings like that. No, they know you're a moral person, you're a pure person. You're not gonna. Okay, they know human beings are different. God doesn't create the same type of human, and all of them can be corrupted if they want. No, no, no. God creates different types of humans. Some are the ones that are just like angels. Okay, they can never be corrupted. Angel as in like you can't change, you can't become evil. Not like angel as in you're as pure as them. No, like you can never be corrupted. Okay, God just creates humans who are just so great they will never become evil. Okay, so demons know that, so they're not gonna obviously treat people who would never become evil. They're not gonna treat you like that. No, they're just gonna project it to you as a way to torture you. They're gonna bring you perverted humans. They're gonna constantly send you perverted humans who are the opposite gender, as if you would ever be wanting to be with them, as if that's who you are. Okay, so they're gonna use them to torture your life. And some of you who are born to these families, you're not that great, okay? Only some of you could have that quality, being really good morally. Some of you could just be average or basic morality. So, of course, at some point, you'll get sexual with these humans. You don't have that self-honor to be like, hell no, who are you? And again, they'll do witchcraft to your mind. So you don't even see that this person is evil and perverted to some degree. You know, they're going to try to manipulate you, okay? So really, they're just trying to make you the same as that family. They're trying to make you poor like them. They hope that you never get married as a way to compensate them marrying evil humans, perverted humans, and continuing the bloodline of perversion into the children. And it continues. The same type of perversion is continuing. So since they can't make you marry perverted humans because you're moral, and they don't think that they could, okay, I'm just saying, since that's not the situation here, someone who is perverted, who could marry someone like that is not born, but someone who's different is born, what are they going to do? They're going to then just prevent you from marriage, right? They're going to just prevent good people from coming to you to marry you of the opposite gender. So I don't know how they do that part because I don't understand that. They can't control good people, so I don't know how they can prevent them from meeting us. I just think the witchcraft just does something where maybe you're stuck in certain cities and towns that, you get me, because they harass you and push you to certain places. You agree, you're not always able to choose where you want to go because they're harassing you so much. You make quick decisions, you run somewhere, you go to that company just so you don't become homeless. You're never able to make the choices of where you really want to go. Okay, but then two, this is another way that they push good people away from you that you could have met. Since they're not God and they can't make them not meet you, they can only control bad humans because they're possessing them. So how can they prevent good people from marrying you since they can't control them? They create situations for them just like they do for you. They harass them at the job using those same evil possessed humans, and those good people quit the job, you see, or they get fired. Now you're never going to meet that wonderful coworker because they just got fired 1 month before you were coming to that job because they know you were applying to it. That's why when you get a job, you still get delayed sometimes from actually coming onto the onboarding. You know, you go through the interview, everything's going well, but then you wait a few days or weeks because the demons are preparing the workplace. They're preparing that place to meet you there with the full-on crowd of possessed humans. You get me? They will not allow a normal person who's not possessed to be there. And some humans could be possessed, but they're not going to hurt anyone. They don't have the quality of wanting to ever hurt someone. They don't have that sort of evil quality. They're just sinful in other ways. Okay, so then they're not going to let those ones meet you. They're going to put them in a different department or get them fired. Observe almost all your employers. There was a lot of people getting fired or leaving for other reasons. If they can't get them fired or quit, then they're going to create a situation where they create situations or problems for that family in their home or in their city or in their town, just like you. And that person might just say, you know, hey, I have to leave because, you know, I have to take care of my mom. She's sick. They'll create situations around the same time as you that person has to leave. Maybe they'll make their mom, you know, fall off the stairs, you know, and then now she has to take care of her mom or he has to take care of his mom, you know. So they'll create situations for them to leave the company if they can't do, you know, fire them or get them to quit. So this is what they're doing, you get me? It's like there's thousands of demons working against just you. And it's so crazy because you're thinking, how can they regroup so well? Like, how are they able to plan so well? They're not that powerful, okay? It's because it's easy. You're in one city. You're not in the whole state. You're in one city. Every day, that's why they watch what you do. They monitor you, not using the gang stalkers. The gang stalkers are not monitoring you. Their job is just to irritate you, cause you psychological torture so that you become distracted. Their job is to distract you, okay? So always know that gang stalkers, their job is distraction, okay? Their job is just to distract you so you don't go back to your job. You don't continue the way you were. You had a job, you know, you had sort of okay life. They don't want you to go back to that. So being followed by them every day, they want you to just be focused on them, be harassed by them, fall into their traps of going to jail because they'll harass you. They want you to hit them. And now you're never going to go back to your job. So all these demons want is to prevent you from having a job. Can you believe that? Because they can't prevent you from getting married. You can just pray to God and that person can come to your life. You get me? That's like a God thing. But a job, it's easy. They can just possess the evil humans who are already possessed by them in every, you know, corporate company and use them against you. So it's not really an area where humans have free will. We can't really protect the job because it doesn't belong to us. Do you agree? We can only protect what we own. We don't own the job, therefore they can steal it. But if you start your own business, that's why I advise you all to do that. They can't do anything to your business, okay? They do some crime, they do some nonsense. The government, you have it. You have the government to go and fix the problem. They'll just use some of those workers to irritate you here and there, but you can report them, boom. Their supervisor comes to you and says, I'm sorry, because they're government workers. And they're going to be held accountable, and you're just going to get your thing. So think logically, okay? In places that are like that, like the government, it's going to be much harder for demons to torture you there because of that sort of way that things are, okay, that accountability. But a corporate job, they're afraid of the legal sector coming after them. So that's why they get away with workplace harassment, because there is no government official in their company monitoring them. It's just they monitor each other. They use HR to protect and cover their crime. So they can get away with crime every day, get people fired every day. It's easy. People have to go to court then. You see what I mean? So it's only in those sort of certain areas that then police would then be used who are evil, you know, where the same type of narcissistic or psychopathic humans that, you know, you saw, that you'll put into, it's just those same type of human beings becoming cops and then harassing and hurting and harming people, okay? So you're really dealing with the same character you were born into, okay? They're just following you everywhere you go. That same character, the same narcissistic personality, that same weird psychopath. Because that is the demon, okay? It's following you with those behaviors. It does that. It talks and acts like that. Demon is not like that either. It's acting that way. So, and that's the point. They don't want you to ever forget what the family looked like. It's like this sort of obsession with you. Like, you can't forget us. You know, you have to remember who we were. You will never be like who you actually are to us as demons, which is someone opposite of them. You don't belong in this household. You are not someone who would naturally be born to them, okay? That's why you are. Usually when it comes to how you look, you're so beautiful and they're ugly. I'm not trying to be funny. These people that are gang stalked, if you look at the face or their body, the way they look, the family is 10 times uglier than them because you don't belong there. You're not actually from their blood. You know how humans have like genetics or whatever? You're not actually from them. That's why you don't look like them. That's why you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're artistic, you have all their opposite quality, all the qualities that are opposite of them. Because you're actually not really someone that could naturally be born there if God didn't do that to you, okay? Therefore, you're just a random person. God took some from random place and he just put you there. You don't belong there. Stop thinking you're their family. Stop hoping for them to change and stop. They're filthy and evil as hell and they never repent. People like that can never change. They always go to hell, okay? So what I'm saying is, again, if they change that, some of them, if they change, that's their business. I'm just telling you, 99.9, they're going to go to hell. Those are the human beings that God actually created hell for. They're never going to change. Goodness. It's not the average toxic person who's sinful that if you give them some time, they come back. These are predators, okay? They're the ones who do rape and molestation and kill and torture people in prison and jail. They're those high-level pedophiles, okay? And criminals and rapists. And they're the ones who become the biggest things you can ever imagine, okay? That are just predator. Okay, so what I'm saying is they just operate on covert ways, okay? That's why they group so well, easily together and gang up easily against you when they all see you. The demon probably doesn't even have to tell them anything. They just naturally feel threatened by you anyway because all those human beings are like that family you will put in. You get me? They're all those qualities that are just predator and evil and perverted and sexist and hateful and they're all racist and everything. They hate God to death. They hate purity. Okay, but they come from all sectors. They're going to act religious. They're going to have a religion at some point. They're going to go to the mosque and church. They're going to come from every area, okay? So they're covert, so they can survive. If people knew how evil they were, they go against them. So they have to be covert. They have to act like just normal people. You make them expose themselves. Okay, so it's very hard to like show people what's happening to you because there's no one you could show it to. The whole city or town or area you're in is just them and them and them. And you're never going to see someone who's different that you could be like, hey, those people are harassing me. Because the human race is just filled with this type of family. Okay, there's just too many of them. There's too many evil humans in the world. Okay, but the good ones, or the sort of normal ones too, who just not desire harm or harassment on others, right? But they're not good people, but they have a little bit of morality. They're not gonna see you. They're just gonna be pushed out. Okay, that's why you get thoughts sometimes to leave the city, leave the state, leave the country, because they want you to go to the places they want you to go to, that those humans are the majority. That's how you know the demon has no power. Why do they always try to push you to certain companies and places? Why do you get rejected thousands of times from many employers that you would say are like the best employers in the country? Because in those sort of best employers, do you agree a lot of good people will go there? Because where will good people go? The best places, okay? So they don't want you to get hired there because you are going to meet people who are not possessed, who are not narcissistic and not gang stalkers. Okay, so in order to prevent you from meeting them, they have to reject you from those big, really cool employers. You know, usually someone really hardworking started that company anyway, who's a good person, a dreamer. They don't want you to go there where you're going to meet your friends and your spouse at some point. So you get rejected and rejected and rejected. And you work at these lowly jobs like a really horrible warehouse or a small call center or really these, small retailers, because there you go. That poor, average, lowly, really uncivilized, shallow human beings are going to work in those jobs because that's where they belong. Why would they have those big, beautiful, great jobs unless they stole it, like I told you, from demon helping them? That belongs to hardworking people, which means they have good character. They're not going to harass you. They're not going to be jealous of you. They're hard workers, okay? Only people who don't work hard are going to be jealous of others. You see, so they don't have power. That's why they're pushing you away from the employers you want and the cities and the towns you want. Because you're going to find good people that you're going to realize there are a lot of people that are not evil like this and they are not going to gang stalk you and not follow you and not harass you. You would actually realize the world is balanced to some degree, but they don't want you to think that way. They want you to think these types of humans are everywhere and that it's only them, by making you always see them. But that's why they're not everyone. Because why are they following you? Correct? If you're following somebody, obviously you're not everywhere. If you were everywhere, you wouldn't need to follow them. You just wait for them wherever they go, right? They follow you for that reason. One thing I've seen is The humans that walk around to follow me all day, the gang stalkers, they're the same exact humans. I actually realized it, that demons were putting into the vehicles that then would follow me with cars at night when I'm walking home. I literally saw that. It's just them. They don't have that many thousands. They don't have that many of them, okay? I just mean thousands in terms of the whole world. Of course, at some point, it's going to reach a couple of, millions. But, in that sort of area, that city, there's a group of them, okay? And there's actually good people around who won't harass you. But they're in their homes usually. That's why they make you homeless. So you go to the places that are not going to be a suburb or home, because you can't walk around those places, correct? People obviously, whether you're the one who's homeless or whether you're the person who lives in that home, you're not going to want people to feel threatened or uncomfortable if you're just walking around all day, right? In their sort of apartment-like complexes. So you're not going to go there, right? You're going to go to like places that are business and open, like a city, like downtown. Okay, and that's where all these evil humans are going. That's where these narcissistic humans are going. You get me? Because they're also homeless usually. They're also drug addicts and mentally ill. So they became homeless due to that. They lose their job by harassing people. They lose their job due to the drugs or whatever. They went to jail and prison and lost their job. You get me? So the family may not usually go to jail, but it's that same type of family that you were born into. I thought it was you were born into. Sorry, you were put into. See, keyword, put into. You're not born into them. Some of them are going to be humans just like them, are going to be one day, the ones that will go to jail and prison. And you get me? Because they're covert. They usually just have jobs and have kids and move on and use the welfare system, and they are the bus drivers, and okay, but at some point they're going to actually have those situations where they actually get poor and become homeless. And okay, so that's why then you're going to see humans just like their family who are now homeless, who are now, drug addicts following you around. You get me? Because it's the same type of human. It's that same narcissistic human, just like that family. But these ones had sort of like a different outcome. You get me? They didn't necessarily get stuck in that family that could sort of help each other. Because they help each other technically because they're evil. If you're a good person, they're not going to help you, okay? But then they just control each other, manipulate each other, harm each other in order to get that assistance from each other financially sometimes. You get me? There's a payback for helping each other. They're going to have to allow themselves to be harmed by each other, by those humans. So don't be like, oh, why they help each other? That doesn't make sense. They're evil. They shouldn't like helping others. They're not helping each other. They're just probably keeping themselves away from the street maybe. They'll allow this sibling to live in their home if this one lost their job. But then they're going to do evil to them. You get me? They're going to maybe do perversion to them. They're going to molest them or something. You get me? There's a consequence. There's a payback. They're going to do filth to them. They're going to do witchcraft to them. There's no help here. These humans are dangerous, okay? The thing is, they're all evil. They're never going to report it and go out. You're never going to, therefore, see that they're predators to each other. You think they're buddy-buddy. No, if you're evil, you can't be buddy with nobody. You're doing evil to each other. You're just so stupid and so evil to yourself that you're not going to leave that situation. That's their difference. That's the difference between good and evil. The good human is saying, I dare you to touch me, I'll kill you. And this one is allowing it, okay? Therefore, they have no honor. They have no self-honor, which also means they don't have intellectual honor. They're stupid. Okay, so understand this is a bloodline curse. Don't worry about these humans who follow you around acting like gang stalkers. It's just the demons wanting to distract you, wanting to make you actually think this is something physical world like humans. They want you to actually think this is something about you. It's not. It's just spiritual thing. It's not a physical thing. So do you see how you're so important to the demon then? Why they feel the need to gang stalk you over time? It gets worse also. Because they don't want you to know it's witchcraft. They don't want you to know it's a curse. They don't want you to know it's on your bloodline. Because then what are you going to do? You're going to go to God. You're going to learn from religious people that there's a curse on the family and you need to break the curse. You see, you don't need to break the curse off yourself. You don't need to be like, God, please, all the witchcraft on me, please delete it. That's probably not the way. You're going to have to pray to God to break the bloodline curse. It doesn't mean you're helping the evil family. You're just helping the bloodline, okay? When the bloodline curse is broken, whoever is born to it will have the freedom to just live their life the way they want to. No demons are following them around. Isn't that fair? Whether you're evil or good, you should have the freedom to live your life It's not like just because we're good people and we hate evil people, we want them to be followed by demons. No one wants evil to happen to you if they're a good person themselves. Only evil humans want evil to happen to others. So just because I hate evil people doesn't mean I want demons to follow them around. No, I just want them to be punished morally the way God would teach us for the evil they do. But not to have evil done to them, because if you want evil to be done to others, you're evil yourself. Okay, so if I'm not evil, why would I want evil to happen to you? Goodness, I hate evil, correct? Okay, so in order to want evil to happen to others, you have to like evil. And that's what makes those humans horrible, and they need to be punished. So what I'm saying, because they're doing evil to you. So understand, demons don't want you to know that this is a bloodline curse, right? That it's a bloodline thing versus just something happening to you, like just a curse done to you. If it was a curse done to you, then it would happen to other people. So they could just curse other people, don't you agree? But why is it so specific to only a few people who are gang stalked in this world and the rest of the human race isn't? Because that bloodline, they're not born to that bloodline. Okay, so understand, therefore, that you need to pray to God Almighty to break the bloodline curses on your family bloodline that God put you in. When those curses are broken, that means it gets broken off of you. When it's broken off of you, you can live your life free without gang stalking. Whether the sort of direct gang stalking, right, the one you actually see, humans walking around harassing you all day, the ones at the job, they're not necessarily walking around, but they're sabotaging your job. That's sort of direct, obvious gang stalking, right? Real, direct, obvious, visible harassment. Or the gang stalking that was happening in the spiritual world, in the sense that demons are just working against you in the unseen world. They're just cursing you over there. You're about to get a job, they do something over there. And then they physically come to this world possessing a human and doing bad things to you. You get me? The stuff they're doing behind our back in their spiritual world, and the stuff they're actually doing physically here in this world using possessed humans, as well as things that they're just doing to your environment. They're putting curses there, and just your environment is a place they can control. Any level of this demonic monitoring, sabotaging, sabotage to your progress, your education, your health, your finances, your future marriage with your healthy spouse that you have not met yet, the children you haven't had because, you can't meet that person. All these evil humans always attracted to approach you, come into your life, hoping that you accept them into your life so they can replace the spots that God created for righteous or good people like you to be your friends and to one of them marry you. They don't want that to happen. They're bringing you these humans thinking they can take their spot. Okay, so all the evil things that the demons are doing, if you want to call that gang stalking, you can. But I feel like if I use that word, it confuses people. Because today, they just think gang stalking means what happens in the street. You get me? So, what should I call it? Let's just call it familiar spirits. Like just everything they're doing to your life. They're attacking your education, your finances, your career. I know they're using stalking to do it. They're monitoring you. They're watching you. They're following you. So, okay, fine. If you want to use gang stalking, you can. But understand that I'm talking about all those other things that happened to you as a younger person. The way you were just sabotaged in school. Maybe your grades were always down. They try to accuse you of being dumb that way when you're intelligent and highly educated. Not educated, so highly smart. Okay, so you're not going to call that gang stalking technically because your teacher wasn't following you around. You see what I mean by gang stalking? So gang stalking doesn't just mean someone stalking you. You get me? It just is the behaviors of people who stalk you. They just have covert behaviors, direct behaviors, like actually following someone. But a lot of their behaviors is sabotage, what they don't really need to do by following you. They can just, use the humans who already work in that place. See, they're not following you, right? They already work there. They already live there. What's stalking us is the demon. It's entering that person and it's familiar with us and it's making them do what it needs to do to then sabotage our success in that sort of building or that environment or that situation. So, in order to get out of this gang stalking, no matter the level, no matter the covertness, no matter the sort of explicitness, you need to be free from the curses that are put on the bloodline that made you get identified by those ancient demons in that bloodline, and they looked at each other and said, we're going to follow this person until they die. Okay, you need to get rid of those demons by getting rid of what? The curses put on your bloodline, because that's why they're there. They're there because of the bloodline. If the bloodline curse is gone, then they don't have God's permission to be there. They have to be kicked out of that.
Okay, so tune into the Healing Guides podcast, where I'm also having a prayer series specifically designed for different types of things that human beings need to pray against. Usually all caused by witchcraft. People just don't think things are caused by witchcraft that are, difficult or bad or reoccurring. So I'll explain the psychologies of that as well. But there's a portion that I have, designed for gang stalking. So if you're experiencing that, tune into the prayers to break the witchcraft on the family evil bloodline that you will put in that is causing their demons to follow you through other people as well and through their family. So you're never going to be free because it's witchcraft. You need to break it off. It's a spiritual thing. God is going to help you. Have faith in Him and have faith in that. It could take time, but it's not going to be too long. You have to just be relentless. Don't give up. Do it every day for hours and hours. And it's just verbal. You're praying verbally, okay? It's not some physical thing. So it's going to be easy. You're going to it's like you singing a song over and over and over again. So you can do it quicker by just saying those prayers over and over and over again because it doesn't require effort to speak, correct? And also do fasting and also do midnight or after midnight prayers. That's the best time that human beings are close to God. It's much better and more easier at night to pray to God for the things you really want. It's just prayer, but it's a prayer that is much stronger because nighttime is a great time for God that we come to Him. Okay, so take advantage of that. And I would advise you to pray at night and that the day is just sort of like your secondary time to pray. Pick the nighttime, okay, after midnight. So 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. Pick that time, okay? And the prayers you're going to be saying, I'll upload it. You just repeat after me, okay? You can create your own and put your own little words into it because we're just asking God to help us against certain types of evil. So how you say, you obviously guys can edit it and say what you need as well. Be more specific as well, etc. So tune into that. This series is about, the gang stalking. But there's going to be other, categories or other basically topics where I'm talking about other types of evil in the world as well. The psychologies of evil of other things. Where I'll teach you the psychology of perversion, the psychology of, these twisted personality disorders like narcissism, which really is just a pervert, okay? This is just their manipulative side. So I'm going to be teaching the psychologies of evil and all the different ways that it likes to categorize itself. It causes A, B, C, D, E. It causes so many different types of personas to come out of an evil human. Even though it's just an evil human, they like to categorize themselves into certain ways that they repeat and behave over and over again, and humans identify that as a certain type of evil. Okay, so I'll teach you all that, not because we care about, evil and we like to study it, no, because so that we can then protect ourselves. If we understand their psychology, we know how to fight them off when they like to defend their evil using religion and God and all that nonsense. Such as how the evil humans in Islam are always defending their evil using God's religion, as well as the evil humans in Christianity are using Christianity to defend their evil. And those humans are the perverts and the sexist ones, okay? They like to put that into God's books because, okay, Satan did that. They like to put that into God's religion because Satan did that. These are just the agents, okay? They're not the ones who did it because they're in this lifetime. Satan used humans just like them in past human history to corrupt God's religion, okay? So perversion and sexism is rampant in religion because Satan therefore doesn't want human beings to ever get out of evil. There's no escape for them because what was supposed to protect them, right? God's religion is promoting the evil. It's promoting, sexism and perversion into their life and telling them they're going to go to hell if they don't accept it. So I'm going to teach you the psychologies. Who taught it to me? God Almighty. He's the reason that I'm creating the Healing Guides podcast. He told me to do this to help people. So this is God saying, that's not from me. Don't attach it to me. This is evil. And you human beings need to use your mind. You have common sense. You have logic and rationale. You're all going to go to hell if you believe nonsense about God. You attach that to Him. You actually believe this is who He is. That's a sin on you. Okay, so you have to use your mind just like past human civilizations. And think and use your mind and think reason. And that's when you're going to be able to separate evil from good. The way you already do in your conscience. The way you already know what's bad and what's good. It's just they're using religion to say, I don't care, it's from God, right? Okay, so it's your job to use your mind. You can't blame that human. for making you accept immorality, because you're not an object. They can't force it on you. It's your choice to accept it into your mind. You can't bring that nonsense to God, okay, when he's judging you. You chose to accept this nonsense. So I'll teach you basically how to understand all that process and help you to become moral, since you all don't know how to be human. So this is really about morality versus immorality when I'm teaching the psychology of evil. You'll understand yourself, you'll understand this world, you'll understand religion, how sadly Satan used it to contribute to, bringing more evil into the world. You'll understand all the weird characters coming out today promoting, age-old sexisms in the past that humans really did their best to get rid of. It's kind of back now. It's kind of coming back here and there. It's always attacking the female, but there's ways that it's also attacking the male. So we'll talk about all that. Join me, okay? It's going to be on Spotify, Healing God's Podcast with Hannah. My last name is Barcado, but that's not my real name. My real name is Marian, so just look for me on Spotify, but I'll also upload it on YouTube. I'm just taking some time right now because I really don't have time to focus on this podcast or these recordings. So I'm doing the best I can to record as much as I can. So take care of yourselves.